Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here on YOUCANIC we have a 2019 Chevy Trax, and on this Chevy Trax we're going to go over how you'd replace this whole tail light assembly. Say it was cracked or broken and you need to replace it. So the way that you'll replace it is first you would pop your hatch. With the hatch popped up and raised up, then we have access to these little covers here. And they've got little Phillips screws under there, so we just need to get those exposed. And now undo the screws. So those two screws are undone and removed. Now there's a decision you can make of whether you're just taking the housing off and you're going to undo all these light bulbs from the back and remove them, or whether you want to remove it with the cable attached. So if you're going to go ahead and do it with the cable attached, what you need to do, so we come here in the trunk and we have this cover here. We're going to pop that cover off, and then we have a cover here that we need to pop off. And then once you pop that cover off, you'll see an electrical connector right here that you need to press both sides and then be able to press both sides, and then you'll be able to undo this connector. And once you undo that connector, you can even pre-start by just pressing that rubber grommet back through the hole there. And then you'll be able to get out here, get your fingers in here or a good plastic non-marring pry bar, and be able to apply a little bit of pressure on there. And then with that pressure, also take your other hand and be applying some pressure and some pulling force back away from the vehicle. Just kind of work it out. It's got little pins that are holding in there, and so we just work that out. And now we've got this out and removed, and we can just pull that electrical connector out. Now, if you didn't want to go through and undo that electric connector, you can do all the procedure of undoing the two screws, pulling this housing out, and then you can just twist out all the lights. You'll just maybe want to take a photo to make sure that you remember which lights go where, so that when you put it all back together, because these two could be interchanged, but then your brake would be down here instead of being up top. And so you'd want to make sure you maybe take a photo so that you know where they go. And that way you wouldn't have to undo this from the inside if you didn't want to. So either way, so if you were replacing this and you've got a new one and you're ready to put it back on, you just go back through the reverse order and be able to install the cable through there and line up your rubber grommet and you press it into there to make sure that it's, so we can seal out all the water so water doesn't get into the back of your vehicle. Then we have these little tabs, one on the top and the bottom, that we're going to line up to here and be able to line this up. And we also have this little indicator that marks up with the top here. So we get that lined up, because that's going to hold this top into the vehicle. And once you feel you've got it lined up, just apply some pressure. Firm but gentle pressure. You'll push it in and you'll hear them clip into place. And so now they've locked into place. Now we can tighten the screws here. Put our little covers back on, if you have them, and then we'll go inside. So you'll need to come back in here in the trunk and make sure you connect up the electric connector right there, and then put this cover back on in the reverse order. and then you can put your cubby cover back over and snap that into place. So that's the procedure of how to replace the whole tail light housing in case it was cracked or broken. Thank you for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.